Bonjour mes amis. Today, we are going to talk about something super useful in French. We are going to learn about direct object pronouns, or les pronoms COD. This might sound a little bit complicated, but I promise it's not so scary. These little words are your secret weapon to make your French sound much more natural and less repetitive. They are like shortcuts that help you speak more smoothly, just like a native French speaker. So, are you ready to learn this fantastic new skill with me? Allez, on y va! So, what is a direct object, you ask? It's a very good question. The direct object is the person or thing that receives the action of the verb directly. To find it, you can ask the question what or who after the verb. For example, in the sentence Je mange une pomme, I am eating an apple. If you ask Je mange quoi? I am eating what? The answer is une pomme. So, une pomme is our direct object. It's really that simple to find it in most sentences you will use every day. Now, why do we need pronouns to replace this direct object? Imagine you are telling a story. You say, I see the dog, I like the dog, I will pet the dog. It sounds a bit strange and very repetitive, doesn't it? In English, you would naturally say, I see the dog, I like it, I will pet it. The word it replaces the dog. In French, we do exactly the same thing to avoid repeating the same noun over and over again. Using these pronouns makes your sentences flow beautifully. Using direct object pronouns, or COD, is all about making your language more efficient. Instead of saying j'aime le chocolat, je mange le chocolat tous les jours, you can simply say j'aime le chocolat. Je le mange tous les jours. See? That little word le replace le chocolat and makes your sentence shorter and much more elegant. This is a fundamental step in moving from beginner French to a more intermediate level, and it will impress your French friends. It shows you understand the structure of the language. So, what are these magical little words? Let's meet them. They are quite simple to remember, and many of them look similar to words you already know. For me, we say me, or am. For you, singular, informal, we say ti, or ti. For him or it, masculine, we use li or elle. For her or it, feminine, we use li or elle. For us, it's nous. For you, plural or formal, it's vous. And finally, for them, masculine or feminine, we use elles. It is so important to learn this list by heart. Now for the most important rule, where do these pronouns go in the sentence? In French, the direct object pronoun almost always goes right before the main verb. This is very different from English, where it comes after the verb. So, if you want to say I see him, you find the pronoun for him, which is le. Then you put it before the verb voir, to see. The sentence becomes je le vois. Another example, tu aimes la tarte? Do you like the pie? Oui, je l'aime. Yes, I like it. What about negative sentences? Don't worry. The rule is still very simple and consistent. The pronoun stays with its best friend, the verb. The negative structure ne, pas wraps around the pronoun and the verb together. For example, to say I don't see him, you take your je le vois and put ne before the pronoun and pas after the verb. This gives you je ne le vois pas. Let's try another one. Vous ne nous entendez pas? You don't hear us? The nous is neatly tucked inside the ne pas. And what if you have a sentence with two verbs, like a verb followed by an infinitive? For example, je veux manger la pomme. I want to eat the apple. Where does the pronoun go now? In this situation, the pronoun goes right before the infinitive verb it is the object of. So, la pomme becomes la, and you place it before manger. The sentence is je veux la manger. Another example, tu vas regarder le film? Are you going to watch the movie? Oui, je vais le regarder. Let's talk about a small change that happens very often in spoken and written French. This is called elision. It happens when the pronouns me, ti, li, or la are placed before a verb that starts with a vowel sound or a silent h. To make the language flow better, the e or a is dropped, and we add an apostrophe. So, me becomes m, ti becomes te, and both li and la become la. For instance, instead of je t'aime, we say je t'aime. And instead of tu l'écoutes, we say tu l'écoutes. Now, let's look at the passé composé. This is where things get a little bit more advanced, but you can do it. When you use a direct object pronoun with the passé composé and the auxiliary verb is avoir, you must make the past participle agree in gender and number with the direct object pronoun that comes before it. This means if the pronoun is feminine, you add an e to the past participle. If it is plural, you add an s. If it's feminine plural, you add ses. Let's see this rule in action with some clear examples. Imagine we are talking about la voiture, the car, which is feminine. If I say, j'ai acheté la voiture, I bought the car, there is no agreement. But if I replace la voiture with its pronoun la, the sentence changes. The pronoun goes before the auxiliary verb, je l'ai acheté. You see, we added an e to acheter because elle stands for la voiture, which is feminine. This is a very important rule to remember. Let's try one more example with a plural object. Let's talk about les fleurs, the flowers, which is feminine plural. Tu as vu les fleurs? Did you see the flowers? To answer this using a pronoun, you would say, oui, je les ai vus. We use the pronoun les to replace les fleurs. Because les is plural, we add an s to the past participle vu. And because fleurs is feminine, we also add an e, so we get vus. It takes practice, but you will get it. One of the most common mistakes learners make is confusing direct object pronouns, COD, with indirect object pronouns, COI. Remember, the COD answers the question, what, or who, directly after the verb. The COI answers the question to whom, or for whom. For example, in Je donne le livre à Paul, le livre is the COD, I give what? But à Paul is the COI, I give it to whom. Mastering this difference is key. For now, just focus on the COD pronouns we have learned today. Another frequent error is forgetting to make the past participle agree in the passé composé. It's very easy to forget to add that little e or s because it doesn't change how the word sounds in many cases. For example, acheter, acheter, achetez, and achetez all sound the same. But in writing, it is a mistake to forget it. The only way to remember this is to practice, practice, practice. Always ask yourself, what noun does this pronoun replace? Is it masculine, feminine, or plural? So, how can you become a master of direct object pronouns? The best way is to use them actively. Start by doing simple exercises where you rewrite sentences using pronouns. You can find many of these online or in French grammar books. Try to notice them when you are reading a short story or watching a French film with subtitles. Listen for how French speakers use them in conversation. The more you expose yourself to them, the more natural they will feel to you. To finish, here is a little summary table to help you. Try creating your own sentences for each pronoun. The more you practice, the faster you will be able to use these pronouns without even thinking about it. They are a fantastic tool to make your French sound much more fluent and authentic. So don't be afraid to use them. Good luck with your practice, and I will see you in the next lesson.